What's going on, everybody? We're back again with another video. Again, this was a big chop. So I've been getting a lot of these clients that are coming in and asking for big transformations. And honestly, I think I'm just becoming that go-to guy. This guy follows me on Instagram and he also follows the shop on Instagram. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is a pretty big transformation. I think he was growing it out for the whole summer. So that was just something to look forward to. And then I'm trying to figure out if I want to go tutorial style or if I just want to keep talking and just having it seem like a conversation between us rather than just a tutorial base. I feel like that market is really saturated and there's only so much you could learn from tutorial styles anyways, in my opinion. So I'll tell you my steps as I'm going, but like I said, not really much of the tutorial guy. So I punch in with the trimmers, go lever open, and then from there I'll go one guard lever open. And then I think I switch from time to time between a 1.5 or a 2. So that just kind of sets the foundation. Yeah, this looks like a 1.5 lever open because the 1 open and a 2 close is very similar in millimeter length. So I'm just creating that distance right there, creating a nice solid foundation. And one thing I would say is you guys just have to stick towards whatever system you're working with. The problem is that people are trying to look for the fastest system possible instead of learning how to just perfect their system and become faster at it by skipping steps and not having, movements that don't result in the outcome they're looking for. So I'm also trying to just figure out what steps I want to do. So far, this has been working for me. It's been most efficient. Then you'll see if I see there's a lot of bulk and I've never cut this person before, I'll usually come in with a 3 guard just to see what's under there. Then the foil shaver, again, I'll switch the trimmers. So when I set my foundations, I use the JRLs just because that lever opens up the blade a little longer to 3.5 millimeter. And then when I'm really going in doing the fine detail, I'll switch to the Stylecrafts because they open to 2.5. So I feel like I get closer to skin with the Stylecrafts, and with the JRLs, it's just easier to just set my foundations. And I try to just resume the same steps, but with the Stylecraft, and then I'll switch between JRL and Stylecraft. I just like to feel what's working for me. I know in the beginning, people like kind of panic when they're getting haircuts they've never done before or something like that. The best thing is just take your time, man. Have a good time, take your time, and don't rush. Definitely don't rush. Try to have a conversation with the client because you may not be the fastest, but that doesn't help you. And from what I see, it doesn't matter if you're the fastest, you're the best hair cutter in the world, don't matter. As long as you're personable and you have a good conversation with the client, I feel like that makes the biggest difference. And that's what makes people want to come back because people buy from people they like. And this is a service at the end of the day. They're not buying a product, but they are buying the service from you. They can go anywhere and get a haircut. So you got to make that service memorable. And just have a good time. Try to remember something about them, just something minuscule, whether it's where they work or something they're doing this weekend, like if they're going to a concert. That's what I like to tell people because the next visit, you could bring that up and you'd be like, oh, how did that go? And that leads into the next conversation right there. That's like one of the tips. That's a gem right there of what I do. Whenever someone has something coming up, I try to remember as best as possible, and then I'll lead into it to be like, oh, how did that go? And we just take it from there. So that's pretty much what I do right now. We just chopping it up, just talking to him, seeing what he's going. I think he just came from school when we decided to do this big chop. And usually people just pick between like a high taper or like a burst fade or something like crazy when they're doing like a big transformation like this. So we decided to go with the skin taper. I believe it was like a mid-skin taper. He still wanted to see some of the C-cups. His hairline was extremely grown out, so we were able to just adjust from there. And then you'll see me adding some shaving cream in there. Since he was coming out of school, he did have some oil buildup on the hairline and around the C-cup area. I wanted to make sure my lines were as sharp as possible, so I just went in with the hot towel. And it makes the biggest difference. A clean surface is the best surface because it's the easiest to just create any lines that you need to make. So right there, I'm just letting it sit for a little bit, and then I'll just take it off. And you see how everything lays down. I'll go in, wipe off the excess of the shaving cream, and then I'll begin to line up. So I have the Cocoa Blade on these Babyliss trimmers, and they hit, man. They hit. I've only adjusted them one time. Cocoa Blade is definitely one of my favorite blades. And then I also like the FX3 blade. Depending on the texture of the hair, sometimes the FX3 is better. But this Cocoa Blade kind of hits for every texture. So If this isn't doing the job, then I'll just know to swap. And I also have the Andis GTXs, so I'll go for those as well. I'm actually trying to get my hands on the M-Force blade because I feel like that's a blade that might be revolutionary. I don't know yet. From the videos I've been seeing, it looks like they hit. So that's just pretty much that. Also, this is my favorite angle right here, whether I'm doing a reel or any video. This angle of lining up behind the ear, I think that's the go-to right there. Definitely recommend you guys throw this in your reels. And try to stick out, bro. Everyone does their reels the same now. So, you know, it just kind of gets boring. It's like repeat, wash, rinse, recycle, all that stuff. You got to find a way to stick out. Just be yourself, whether it's showing your process, showing before and after, showing clients that came in with like that need drastic changes or something like that, or you got the sharpest lineups. Try to pick something that makes you stand out. I think that's going to work best. And just be yourself. My reels, I kind of just do what's best for me. Right here, his right side was a little lighter than I predicted. So I started with that left side, went to the middle, went to the left. And then from there, I just worked it as much as I could. Worked it until we got it right. Without pushing him back tremendously, he just had a lot of overgrowth because his hair was so long. So right here, I'm just creating some minor details with that trimmer, with that Cocoa blade. Oh no, this is with the Stylecrafts. And then you see how sharp that line already looks. That's because I cleaned the surface and the skin was clean. Everything was good. It was just easier to move and manipulate. And I also used some hairspray as well just to lay down the hair. So I didn't show every part in the video just because I'm trying to utilize as much time as I got without having you guys wait here for too long. But hopefully you guys are liking how this transformation came out. I like it. The kid liked it. You can see him smiling at the end. And yeah, it was a fun experience. I always like doing the big transformations. Sometimes, just the weekly clients that come in for the same haircut, you're just basically touching it up every time. But I do appreciate all my clients. I just like that I'm able to make reels when someone comes in and wants to chop off all their hair. That's like my favorite part about it. I pull out the camera immediately and I'm just like, all right, we're going to get into it. So from here, I'm just doing some razor work. With the shaving cream already cleaning the skin, I didn't really have to add much to it. And then I just wanted to make sure the lines were as sharp as possible. I also just switched to the Turkish razor. I got it from Level 3. That's probably been a game changer for me because I used to struggle around the mustache area, just lining up that mustache. But ever since I switched to the Turkish razor, it's been 10 times easier. I highly recommend you guys check it out. I also use the Dorco premium blades, better than anything I've ever used. And then I got a big stock of Level 3, so you're just going to see a lot of Level 3 products in here. And yeah, this is pretty much the cut. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the videos and stuff. This is the blend right here. And everything came out sharp in my opinion. I like how this one turned out.